Paris. One of my favorite cities, like many of you. A place I have been lucky enough to visit before the coronavirus outbreak. We can only hope that our days resume back to its normal state as soon as possible and we get to visit and revisit this beautiful city. Ideally, you can visit it for as long as you want, but that's not always possible and you might only have a short amount of time to see the city like us. We visited Paris after our Disneyland vacation in Marne-la-Vallée. We spent a day and a half in the city, and in this video I have put together to help you get the most out of your one day in Paris. It's going to take you to the highlights of the city, everything you're going to want to see, even on a 24-hour timetable with a 3-year-old. The good news is that whilst having a few days to explore Paris is wonderful, it's also possible to see many of the highlights of Paris in a day. And in this video, that's just what we are going to help you plan. With only one day in Paris, you'll want to stay somewhere that is not only centrally located but is also easy to get in and out of. Ideally, that will be somewhere that you can access some of the highlights on just a lovely evening stroll. We stayed at 42 Rue du Terreur, just 1 kilometer from the Eiffel Tower, and some of the most elegant of Paris bridges along the Seine, connecting the left bank to the right. Now, what are the things to do in Paris at night when the museums are closed and you don't want to spend money on shopping or clubbing? You go and get the best views of the City of Lights. That's exactly what we did. We had plenty of time the evening we reached Paris. We strolled along the lively banks of the river for a while, watching the boats and birds and people, which in itself is one of the best things to do in Paris. Keep an eye on the time of sunset. You don't want to miss seeing the Eiffel Tower twinkling, a visual that would stay with you forever. We were lucky to witness the beauty on our first evening itself. The next on our plan for the evening was the Seine River dinner cruise, but that got cancelled at the last minute due to Seine flooding and rising water level. We had a fulfilling dinner at a French restaurant instead. Great way to end an evening well spent. Our first stop in the City of Love was the Louvre. Giant, overwhelming and incredibly iconic, no attempt to see Paris in one day could leave out the Louvre. There is absolutely no way you could possibly see it all. Strategy and prioritization will both be important to make the most of your time in the Louvre. Make sure your little one is never bored. We let Harvey explore the world's largest art museum her own way. Letting her walk and climb the stairs on her own, letting her choose her piece of sweet kept her entertained, and she knew she was there to have fun, while we got to enjoy this piece meanwhile in appreciating some of the masterpieces of the ancient Greek world. We went straight to the top to see the Mona Lisa, Winged Victory of Samothrace, Venus de Milo, and just enjoyed working our way down to each floor. We recommend spending 2 hours here, more or less depending on what time it is when you arrive and how quickly you have moved during your one day in Paris before your visit to the Louvre. Save time during your one day in Paris and purchase a skip the line ticket for the Louvre. If you would like to add more context to your visit, the 2-hour guided tour is highly recommended. Our next stop on the tour was the Arc de Triomphe. From the Louvre, we'd suggest you take a taxi or the Metro Line 1. The Arc de Triomphe stands alongside the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre as a must-visit location in Paris. You can admire it from the outside for free, but my suggestion would be to pay the entry fee and go to the top to get some stunning views of the 12 roads radiating out from the Arc, including the Champs-Élysées. The Champs-Élysées is a truly lovely avenue, nearly 2 kilometers in length. It is widely regarded to be one of the most recognizable avenues in the world. The range and variety of stores along the Champs-Élysées will gladden the heart of any shopper. This prestigious location is also home to a number of luxury brands, theaters, cafes, luxury shops, and is visited each day by nearly 3 lakh people. Now, what could be better than a quick break at La Tuileries before the next stop? A visit to La Tuileries for an afternoon tea and a box of sweet treats to take home is a must-do for many tourists in Paris. This dessert and tea haven is one of the perfect places to experience Parisian elegance. Its old-school charm of retro furnishings and attentive waiters make you feel special, while those amazing macarons are exquisite. One day in Paris definitely isn't enough time to visit Versailles, but you can get a small taste of Parisian glitz and glamour at some of the palaces in and around the French capital. These palaces can be reached by car or metro and can be explored in a single day, filled with abundance of history, culture, and art. For one trip to see all the palaces and castles is impossible, but you must visit at least 1 or 2 because without them, Paris is not Paris. Similarly, if you can manage the time between 2 stops, take a break in at least one of the beautiful parks and gardens of Paris. One of the real beauties of France is its many gardens open to the public. They surround medieval castles, Baroque palaces, and museums and are a delight to explore and enjoy. So to help you have an idea, here is a list of some of the beautiful palaces and loveliest gardens to visit in Paris. The link is in the description. Since visiting the interior of Notre-Dame is no longer an option, we decided to visit Notre-Dame the next day on our way from our hotel to the train station. Notre-Dame, though wounded, is still a beautiful structure. As of September 2019, the entire area in front of and surrounding Notre Dame is closed to the public, and the damage from the fire is obvious from most angles. At this point, the church is closed indefinitely. You can admire the golden Eiffel Tower light show, during which it twinkles for 5 minutes every hour from sundown to 1 a.m. at the beginning of each hour. So whenever you are in Paris, take out some time from whatever schedule you have, choose your favorite spot to see the Eiffel Tower and wait for the sparkling show. It happens once every hour at night, so you would certainly not miss it. So which is your favorite place in Paris to visit and why? Share it in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe and turn on the post notifications so you guys are notified every single time we post a new video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.